Hi, this is John with Skullplax, and today I want to go over on some of the Skullplax benefits and features on how they work. This is the two-tone original plaque as the other plaques that we have, so I'm going to demonstrate with this plaque. First, I'm going to show you how to reverse a plaque. Right now this plaque's set for wall mount. You can see the keyhole right here for your mount in the back to hang on the wall, and it hangs right just like that so that the skull is on the wall at the correct angle. I want to demonstrate how to reverse this plaque to a pedestal plaque. Word of caution when you're using these drills, make sure your torque setting is set way low so that it won't strip down or pull into the wood and pull through the wood. I set my chuck setting at 1, it's the lowest setting. But it's quite simple. All you do is there's 2 screws in this. Okay, we're not even going to mess with this back screw, we're just going to mess with this front screw. And go ahead and just loosen the screw, take the head off, turn it around. You should be able to finger tighten this down, fit it back into the hole. Once it's in the hole, make sure your chuck's set on light torque. Run it back down, and then I will take and have a normal screwdriver here. We'll center it up a little bit. Make sure it's good and centered. I just kind of eyeball them. You can use a ruler if you want and measure it, and then once it's centered, just give it a little snug. And now it's set for pedestal. Next thing I want to do is go over the faceplate and all the different markings on it, what they're for and how to use them. When you get the Skullplax, it will come with a little peg like this with the set screw in the back. That fits in this hole, and if you decide to use these, you glue this in your hole right there like that, and then your skull, that peg goes right in the brainstem. You just push it down until the back of it hits the set screw. Set your teeth so they land on the plexiglass just barely, and then you can just twist this with your hands if they're loose. You can just grab a quick screwdriver and tighten that down just a hair. And what that does is it press fits that on there so it won't move. This one I don't have glued in, so I'm not going to torque on it too hard. And then you can flip your skulls in and out by loosening this. Pops off. You can grab another skull or a wet whitetail or whatever. This one happens to be a mule deer, pretty good size. And you do the same thing, set it down, drop it until the teeth are just touching the acrylic, and tighten it down so it press fits onto the skull. And that's tight. I'm going to spin this so you can see where it's at on the skull there. You set the skull down right onto the screw, and these skulls have a little divot indention right there that screw sets right on. You can see that. And when the screw press fits in, it actually pushes right against the bone on the inside of here. So it presses against that bone and then it just press fits it on there. So you can loosen it. I'll show you, we'll just loosen it really quick and we'll pop this off, and I'll show you another way to attach to these. Once it's loose, lifts right off, and again you can see inside there where it presses against, fits right in that notch, presses right down against there. Okay. I prefer this way because I like moving my skulls around quite a bit. You can place them on, place them off. One of the other features of this, as I said, is this is the acrylic. This hoof print is acrylic. I put these acrylics in here not only because they look nice, but your teeth set on this acrylic so that it doesn't mar your wood and scratch, and them teeth are really sharp, they'll go into this wood. So when you line this up, you line your teeth so they just set on your acrylic, and then you won't mar your wood and it keeps it looking really nice. So the next way This isn't glued in, so we'll just pop it out. There's another mark below the big hole. Is another little mark, and that mark is centered and it's set. So for two reasons: if you want to drill your skull and drill your plaque and then mount your skull to your plaque solid on these skulls, look at this antelope pronghorn skull really quick. There's a little mark. If you take right here and here, these two bones, and then down here, these two nodules, these little nodules right here, and you go in between just below the brainstem, there's a little point right below that where it's pretty solid bone. And you drill 11/32 or whatever, just a small screw hole right there. And then you'll drill in here one larger for your screw to go in. And then you screw through the back of your space plate, and you screw it and you mount it hard. You screw it right into the skull. And these are still set. These are set, and these are preset so that it'll still set right on your acrylic and self-center this skull so it's perfect on your faceplate. Those are a lot more durable. I mean, you'd have to rip the skull pretty hard to get it off of that with it because it's screwed right to it. If you're looking at a mule deer or white-tailed deer, they're the same thing. If you go right below here, you can see right here, there's a pretty hard solid surface, and you just drill right there. One way you can do it is you can measure just below this, and it kind of give you an idea of where you want to put it, but pretty much the spot to be is right where the tip of my finger is, right there, for drilling your skulls. Once again, it's up to you, it's personal preference. I prefer not to drill my skulls. The other reason this mark is here is for a mountain mike's. This skull right here is plastic, it's fake. And this right here is actually a skull plate that's mounted to it. You can put your sheds on mountain mics, or you can put a skull plate. This is a record keeper, so I did split my skull plate. Now the back of those has a keyhole. You can see the keyhole where you can slide onto your screw. That again is placed so you can just set your screw right here, drop your keyhole onto it, and it sits just like so again and holds your skull pretty tight. Very simple, extremely easy to do. The teeth aren't nearly as sharp and they don't mar the wood, but they still set on your acrylic. Okay. I have another face plate. If you get our original Skullplax, and you're not going to be moving stuff around a lot, our original Skullplax faceplates do not have acrylics. They're just a solid finished piece of wood. So if you're not going to be moving around and feel like you're going to mess up or mar the wood very much, you can go with the originals. They don't have this two-tone glazed finish around them. They're just a solid finished piece of wood. Same function, they twist, they run as a universal pedestal or a wall mount. And same thing, you can use them with the peg, or you can drill through them and mount them right to it. Those are the deer-sized Skullplax